What's going on, everybody? I'm here in the garage. We're going to be working on the Mark IV 2-liter turbo project. We got some wheels for the Wagon. Boom! That's going to be sick. So 18 by 8.5 with a 35 offset, I believe. Yeah. They are made to look like the spare rim. I think that comes with like an Audis and maybe Porsches. I'm not really sure. But obviously in a big, wide setup. So yeah, I think the red will work great with the black, especially after I polish the car up. And you can see it's got some typical Mark IV nonsense, but I have 2 rust-free fenders up there. I'll get those on. I'll fix a little bit of the rust that's starting on the front of the rockers, but because this car was from California, it's not too bad as far as rust goes, which is sweet. So I'm gonna rip off those fenders and the front end for the intercooler stuff, and at the same time I'm going to swap the fenders, and while they're off I'll fix the rockers, the front of the rockers, which are not bad. So while I'm waiting for my parts to arrive, we'll start removing stuff out of the engine bay. Try and keep the AC works, so I don't want to actually take it out completely. If I can leave it intact, that's something. I don't know if I have to take it out. I have to take it out. But I want to take it out, the engine out as one unit, and then I'm going to mount up the turbo manifold so that way I can figure out the drain and feed lines for the turbo. See how the turbo's going to sit in relation. What we're going to do is, you know, as Moog says, step 1, jack up your car. I know this has been covered a lot probably with Mark IVs, and I wasn't even going to really talk about it, but obviously no one has ever done this. Where you take out the plastic liner, it's like just a few screws. It won't take very long. You know what I mean? It's just like, look at this. That's how much I took out already. Look how much is still there. I mean, save your rockers, save your fenders. This right here isn't a Northern climate Canada problem. This is a everywhere problem, because this is just dirt. So dirt's sitting in there collecting moisture and all that crap, and I mean, a couple minutes of work, you can save your stuff. You know what I mean? Drives me nuts. Okay, so it's the next day. We got the rad support off, the bumper bar, bumper skin, blah blah blah. Fenders are off. So the rest of the car is pretty rust free. This is because of that Mark IV stuff, right? So, and so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of repairs there. And it's not as bad on this side. Funnily enough, the fender was worse on this side. Rocker's in better shape on this side. So that's fine. That's the only 2 spots I got to fix. And the rest of the car is rust free, so for Canada, that's a win. But got most of the connections off, just gotta finish getting this stuff out. The wiring, axles, or drive shafts, however you want to say it, and exhaust, and then it's motor mounts, and this thing's out. A little slower than I want it to be, but I was just taking my time getting to know how things go in here. And then the other thing that I'm trying to map out is where the intercooler piping is going to go. This area gets kind of tight with once you have the rad in here and the rad support, there really isn't a whole lot of room. So what I might do is, like, the bumper skin I think would be like over here, right? So just imagine that the pipe can maybe go in this area here, up through here, and then through this area. Maybe. I did want to keep the cold air scoop or whatever, but it's all full of crap anyway. Jeez, look at that thing. This thing's like... yeah, this thing had no power. I just thought it was, you know, 2-liter life, but logging, I'm sure that's part of it too. The too slow, these things are horrendously slow. Like, man. Actually, maybe I have one little clip I'll insert where it's I'm on the highway and I like floor it. it is pretty slow. Yeah. After this, it'll be quickish. It still won't be that fast. The other thing I'm thinking of is that when the turbo is back here, so maybe we'll just run it that way and then down. And then through this area here, like the TDIs, right? And then forward into intercooler there. So I don't know, we'll do that. We'll mock it up once I have everything back in, and then we'll put the bumper, the rad support and everything. I did want to keep AC. It's the only thing this car has. It's manual, like everything, but it's got air conditioning. And when you're on the highway in the summertime, it's nice to have windows closed and be comfortable. So usually whenever I modify something, everything goes out. Because who cares about that stuff? You're just trying to make power. But since this is gonna be a daily, you know, AC would be nice. Enough blabbing. I'm gonna get some things set up here. Let's get to work. So I managed to do this with the AC compressor. I just have it on a bungee cord. I'm gonna see if I can, you know, if this is enough space to get the engine and transmission out in one shot. Hopefully it didn't, nothing leaked out of there. Pulled it all back up and I don't have to recharge it. Hopefully, we'll see. So we're gonna give this a shot. Like that, rip the finger off my glove to cover up the hole. So for the leakage, man, you gotta be creative with these things. You just gotta get her done. For now, I'm gonna strip this apart. Not fully apart, but I'm just gonna get the exhaust manifold off. and put the turbo manifold on, see how the turbo sits. I still have to figure out how I'm gonna do piping, because the turbo and downpipe that I have was off of the Passat there. On the Passat, I had the cold air this side, exhaust around this side. And it looks to be, when you look at the tunnel and everything, that there is more room that way for the exhaust to go down, and it would save me some cutting and whatever. But that also means that because the intake is on this side, then I would have to make a fresh air pipe or an intake pipe that would go around and then do a loop into the turbo. So that's what I sort of have to figure out right now is, do I want to keep the exhaust on this side on the current downpipe setup and do a U, or do I want to flip the turbo around, hack up and modify the downpipe so that I can have a straight shot for the intake to go to the driver's side? Because this is like, if you're looking at it from the back to the front, this is the back, that's the front, driver's side, passenger side, right? There's a mass airflow sensor that's going to be over here. And on this side of the car, there is, you know, power steering reservoirs and, well, yeah, coolant bottle, all that stuff, right? That's the plug for the mass air. Yeah, so that's what I got to figure out. You know, do I have the turbo facing this way with the intake straight shot? If the turbo is here, then I'd have to hack up and twist that downpipe down, do a loop this way, right? Or keep it, like I said, the way that it's currently set up with the downpipe and everything when it came off of that car, is the cold air this side, exhaust side here. It's going to be basically like a straight down, have a pipe, do a loop to the mass air, have the filter here. This is where the factory airbox was. That's where the battery would be. And then have like intercooler piping come up, go through this area here. There's a little bit of a gap between the battery and that wall there. So I'm not 100% decided yet on what I'm gonna do, but I'll research it and see. I know that pretty much everyone with a Mark IV does it so that there's no loop in the intake. It's, you know, straight up. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna be better. So we'll have to see what works. I got some adapters because I didn't realize that the Mark IV 2-liter 8-valve has like a Denso style plug, and the tune that I got from United Motorsports, which the ECU should be here I think on Thursday, which is cool. It's the 440 tune for the they recommend the Bosch 440 injectors, the green giants or whatever they're called, and those are EV6, I think. There's a lot of like different styles, whatever. So anyway, it's like an older style rectangular plug, and the Mark IVs have Mark IV 2-liter 8 valves have those there. So I didn't realize that. I just ordered those today. The connector adapters, and I also ordered from them the O-ring kit, because I guess the O-rings have to be a different size for the injectors to fit. Just $9, not a big deal. And I think like I was gonna do 2.5-inch intercooler piping, but now I'm thinking that 2-inch would be easier to fit. Like the outlet from the turbo is 2-inch. The throttle body is 2.5-inch. The intercooler is 2.5-inch in and out. So I thought, okay, I'll just do the whole thing 2.5, one size, and just have like a reducer for the turbo from 2.5 to 2-inch, and then do that. 2-inch, I think you would have a little bit better response. 2.5-inch, you could flow more. The thing is, it's like, well, all the stuff that we're doing, we're still limited to a horsepower number. Like I can't It's a flash tune, you know. So it's 440 injectors, so it's just as much power as those are gonna make. So, you know, it's already got a cam, ported head, all that stuff. Do I, you know, is 2-inch good enough? I think it's probably gonna be good enough. So I don't know. I'm gonna ask people that know better than me, because I'm just a fool that likes the turbo stuff. The video that's coming out, I think on Thursday, shows, like, I did a port and polish video, and I was tired and I just sort of like said screw it at the end of it, it's good enough or whatever. I just didn't really care anymore, to be 100% honest. I was just like, okay, you know. I took it to my buddy Rob, and he's like, you know, like, you could do a little bit more work here. And I was like, I know, like, sort of like, you know, when the kids trying to get away with like shorting their parents. That's sort of the same feeling I got. Like, I was just like, Rob kind of looked at me, he's just like, you know, like, I don't know if you want to, it's fine, but you know, it's not. So I think he was being nice. So he gave me some friendly advice that I could probably do a little bit more work. And it wasn't on the porting side, even though I did do a little bit more porting. It was mostly about sanding out some of the grooves that I had left behind from cutting up so much. Like, the exhausts were so small, right? So you have to cut up so much material. You could probably clean this up a little bit more. So I did get a longer shanked burr to do a little bit more intricate work. So, which was super nice. And then I got, like, that used to be bigger, but I got a sanding thing, and I sanded it all out, all the roughness that I had left behind. And I did a little bit more port work behind the valve and the curve. So when you see that episode, I say the head is done. It's not done. There was another, 40 minutes. It was basically done. Another 40 minutes of just cleaning up, and I took it back to Rob. He said, much better. Give me a pat in the head and said, okay, now get up. So, yeah, so once I get that back, we can start, well, I can't put it together because I'm still waiting for the fasteners. Yeah. Anyway, I miss that car. I miss driving it. It's plus 10 outside, snow is melting. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one soon. I know there's an update video out now where I talk a little bit about the parts that we got for it. And then in the next video, after this one, I'll make a couple of short videos on where we're going and what I want to do with that. I know I sort of talked about it, but just stuff to talk about. More videos coming up. We're gonna do a little bit of mocking up, a couple of shorter videos, and hopefully this weekend I can actually start making the progress forward instead of backward now. So thanks for tuning in. I know probably there's a little bit of cringy stuff as far as like the work that I do. You haven't seen me weld yet. That's gonna be awesome. But I don't care, because that's the way how this channel is. It's just what I got in the garage, the tools that I have. I would like a gas MIG, but I don't have one. And every time I want to buy one, they're a little bit of money, and then I think, well, you know what? I could just get some turbo parts for that money. I don't know, probably. I like getting tools, but I do need to improve my welding skills. I have made exhausts and stuff, and got by, which you guys will see how nasty it's going to be. But it works. Whatever. Okay, I'm out. Thanks for watching. And I need to come up with some sort of catchphrase, for my outro. Keep it cranked with wagons.